Looking for these better days.
It is Wednesday, March 11th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. Bam Adebayo passes Kobe Bryant for the second highest scoring game in NBA history with 83 points last night against the Washington Wizards. The Baltimore Ravens have said no thanks to the Raiders on the Max Crosby trade after Crosby fails a physical. And Arrivederci USA? We'll get into that. Mackenzie Rivers joins me on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. Mac, let's start with that 83-point performance from Bam Adebayo. The Heat beat the Wizards 150-129 last night. Here was Bam Adebayo's final stat line. He did score 43 points in the first half, by the way, which was 2 points higher than his career high for a game. He played 42 minutes, 20 of 43 from the field, 7 of 22 from three-point range, and get this, 36 of 43 from the free throw line. That's right, that's not a mistake. He shot 43 free throws last night. Mac, what did you make of this performance, where it sits all-time historically, and any issues that you may or may not have had with how the Heat played this late in the game?
Oh, I have no problem with the Heat, Eric Spoelstra, Bam Adebayo. Let me not miss the forest from the trees and preface my ripping apart of this game by saying good on Bam Adebayo. He's having, before this game, his best offensive season ever, when a lot of people like me, guilty as charged, ruled him out, saying defensively, he's kind of plateaued, and offensively he's never been that much of an additive player. This year he has been, and the Heat's new offense totally works for him, and he had his best offensive EPM of his career, and now it's going to get a half a point better after last night's game, deservedly so. That said, last night was not about Bam Adebayo. It was about the NBA, and it was about tanking. Because, yes, he had an incredible first quarter, 30 points in the first quarter, continued it in the second half as the Heat got a lead, and he had 43 points in the first half. And like you said, that's more than he scored ever in a game. All right, so the Wizards, they're losing. They have a good offensive player, a top 30 offensive player, having the best game of his career. What is their halftime adjustment? They give up 40 points in the second half. Like, the first half's excusable. He's red hot from three. He ends the game 7 from 22 for three. That's not a great shooting night. That's below average for him. He got all of his points from the free throw line and wide open dunks. And yeah, because of who he is, he relished in the fact that he was going to put up records. But in his career, he's had 5 games in 600 games where he's had 16 free throws. He had 16 free throws in the fourth quarter of this game where they're up by 20 the entire game. That's one team just completely, like, when Lisa Leslie scores 115 points in a high school game, we're like, okay, well, she's just too big and strong and no one can stop her. That's not the case in the NBA, unless you're Alex Sarr, apparently. Wizards, he definitely loses a half point of value. Alex Sarr, center for the Wizards. But the team obviously just didn't care. One team was motivated to throw it to Bam and let him go crazy, and the other team was probably motivated to just let him do that, to foul him, to keep it going. It's an insult to Kobe Bryant's legacy. It's an insult to Wilt Chamberlain's legacy. He's just not good enough to deserve that kind of offensive performance. It was like when Anthony Davis in Brooklyn in the All-Star game won MVP, scored 50 points. No one has ever remembered a single bucket from that game because it was a layup line. This is the NBA in March. The players that have had 35 plus free throws in a game? Active players, there's one, Andre Drummond. He went 13 for 36 because he was Andre Drummond and they were fouling him. The other players is Shaq and Dwight Howard twice. Shaq's kind of an iffy one because he did get a lot of free throws anyway. Dwight Howard, obviously, they were just fouling him intentionally. Outside of those outliers where they're purposely fouling him, no one has ever been that unstoppable in a game besides Bam Adebayo last night. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break.
It got ridiculous at times. Like, okay, they're double teaming him and they're triple teaming him to say, like, hey, anybody else get the basketball, but then he's just not giving up the basketball. And the Miami Heat players, like, nobody else wanted to touch the basketball. I mean, the Heat missing free throws intentionally down the stretch of the game, fouling the Wizards intentionally to extend the game in order to get Bam over 81 points. Yes,
Why?
it's cool,
But I
but
ask
it's a
again,
mockery
why?
of the game. It's a
It,
mockery of the game.
I mean, it's 150 points in a game. That by itself, like in most years, would tell you like, oh, this was an unserious game. But I mean, these are the kind of things you find to do when you're in a animal farm, ant farm, without any particular motivation. The Wizards are just
Yeah.
out there playing out the string.
It was Bam. We mentioned he started hot from the field, but then he shot under 37% in the second half. He became the only player in history to score 70 points while shooting below 50% for the game. And yes, the 43 free throws, he sets the record, right? Most free throws made, most free throws attempted. Like, just what? Cool, but like
Cool.
honestly, I'm kind of with you. That's an embarrassing game for the NBA.
I mean, people say I remember LeBron James famously. I remembered where I was when Kobe Bryant scored 81, and it was the second most in history, and it was the most in like television history, and it mattered. Now it's going to be like Wilt scored 100, nobody saw it. Kobe had a big game. Devin Booker scored 70 once in a loss. Like it's becoming ridiculous. When Luka scored 70, I think last year or the year before, and when Embiid scored 60 or 70 in three quarters, it was because they're unworldly offensive players that no one's ever seen before. Nobody has an answer for. Bam Adebayo had 10 uncontested fast break dunks in this game. Like 10. Like it's unbelievable. It's stupid.
Absolutely stupid. You know what was not stupid last night was the Lakers winning without LeBron James. We teased this, Mackenzie. We said that if LeBron was going to get ruled out, we would take the Lakers plus the points. Guess what? They went from 2-point dogs to 3-point dogs, and they win outright 120-106. Luka Doncic with a triple-double, 31 points, 11 boards, and 11 assists. And you and I have been screaming it for anybody that would listen. Oh, by the way, Austin Reeves had 31 points as well. Like, we don't need to. I don't want anybody else to know this now. I feel like at this point, like I'm done. Like just let's keep moving the line in the wrong direction when LeBron James doesn't play, and we will keep betting the Lakers because they are significantly better without LeBron James.
It's a major thorn in the side of efficient market theory. The fact that you can say, what's the number one variable that NBA fans across the world will pay attention to when they're thinking about watching any NBA game? Any NBA game. Is Kobe playing? All right, he's not alive nor playing. Is Michael Jordan playing? No. Is LeBron James playing? Like, people in Senegal know whether or not LeBron James is playing or is not. It obviously matters, and the market knows that. And I would argue it's gotten it wrong this year. We've seen that. They're now, 10-2? I would argue they got it wrong last year when he was the only All-NBA player to have a negative plus-minus and was a good bet against team. I would argue since 2009, when he won his first MVP, you could bet against him every single game and be profitable because the market gets it wrong. He's just not as good as people think.
He's not, and we'll see how much longer he's going to be out. This was his third straight miss. I mean, I'm just hoping that, listen, come back, play a game, and then take another game off so then we can bet the Lakers again. Because I'll tell you what, his first game back, Mackenzie, I'm going to bet against the Lakers. What do you think about that?
I mean, he hears the noise. He's a very smart player. He's maybe he plays nice. Maybe he plays a little more of the facilitator. I mean, I don't think it was a coincidence that he came back, I think, against Utah, like at home. Yeah. Like he might come back in a game where they can just win by 20. Just if they decide to. So I don't know.
Well,
it'll be case by case.
Tomorrow night they play the Chicago Bulls. So
that might be a game that he comes back on in LA. Okay.
Yep. Elsewhere last night, the Spurs beat the Celtics 125-116. Jason Tatum scored 24 points. Jaylen Brown, only 8 points, was ejected after playing just 15 minutes. Hard to take away anything from this game after Jaylen Brown left. So, I would love to see a full-strength Celtics against a full-strength Spurs. We did not get that last night. Victor Wembanyama had 39 points and 11 boards. Would he have done that anyway if Jaylen Brown played the full game? Probably yes, right? But would Jaylen Brown have scored more than 8 points? He didn't even attempt a three-pointer when he was in the game, and we talked about this, maybe going over Jaylen Brown threes, going over Jason Tatum threes.
Yep,
Tatum
you went 1-1 if you took our advice on that one.
Yeah, Tatum was 4 for 14.
Yep.
So think about the 14 threes that Jason Tatum took. Jaylen Brown probably would have taken 9 or 10. So, again, hard to take anything away from this game, but the Spurs are, like we talked about before, if you missed the boat on them to win the Western Conference or to win the finals, still get in now because there's still value on this team. They're that good.
Yeah, Celtics 89 shots, 51 threes. So our general handicap of they're going to be forced to shoot outside, good 70% of their shots were threes. So we were spot on there. Jaylen Brown isn't worth 10 points, so I'm not going to give the Celtics like a pseudo win, but he was +1 in his minutes. We don't know how the game would have shaken out, but the handicap that I think came through was that the Spurs are built for this ride of momentum. The Celtics, I think it'll be a different story if it comes to the playoff time, when you have time to think about what exactly you're going to be up against. But obviously this would be a finals matchup.
Sure.
But I think this is the next tier. I think after the Thunder, it goes Spurs and Celtics. If not, they're all in that top tier, Celtics, Thunder, and Spurs.
And your bad beat of the night goes to the Blazers and the Hornets. We did give out the Hornets minus the 3 points, Mackenzie, where they had a 5-point lead, and Scoot Henderson's half-court buzzer beater makes the final score. Hornets 103, Blazers 101. Hornets win by 2, Blazers cover. 41-foot buzzer beater three-pointer from Scoot Henderson. It's going to happen. Multiple times in an NBA season, you're going to get that buzzer beater loss. It doesn't sting any less.
No,
that was horrible watching that last night.
That's one of the worst all time, honestly. Scoot Henderson, 25% from distance this year. He goes 5 for 8, and obviously you needed every one of them. If you're a Blazers better, or someone out there bet Scoot Henderson over 4.5 threes, 20-1, and he's having an opposite tale about this game.
And listen, for anybody that had +2.5 or +3 with the Blazers, congratulations, you cashed with the half-court buzzer beater 3 there. That was I was at the West Coast Conference Championship last night, and I came home to watch the ending of that game and watch the Laker game, and I'm like, let's get some more winners. And then to see the Hornets not cover that because of the Scoot Henderson buzzer beater, I was riding such an emotional high last night, and then it immediately just went, But let's see if we can get back to that emotional high here tonight. Let's take a look at the schedule. These odds courtesy of our friends over at the FanDuel Sportsbook. And we'll start with the Eastern Conference matchup between the Cavaliers and the Orlando Magic. The Cavs 3-point road favorites. Mackenzie, what do you like here?
Give me the Cavs here. I think the Magic are I know they burned me over the weekend with their win over the Timberwolves. I think the Timberwolves just fell asleep that Saturday morning. But I think the Magic without Franz Wagner is just not a very good team. So against winning teams, they have a losing record. I think that continues. Home court doesn't matter here much. These teams have played against each other, 10 times in the last 2 years.
The Raptors at the Pelicans. Toronto, a 1-point road favorite. Knicks visit the Jazz. Knicks are laying 12.5 on the road. Hornets, a 12.5-point favorite at the Sacramento Kings. Big matchup in the Western Conference, possibly. The Rockets at the Nuggets. Denver, 5-point home favorites. You like anything in this one?
Yeah, give me the Rockets. Someone explain this line to me. Beginning of the year, Thunder it was tier 1, Nuggets tier 2, Rockets right there. Then Fred VanVleet goes down. They go from favorite to tied for second or third favorite. The Rockets, some of the bloom was off the rose. And now the Rockets are the 5th seed. The Nuggets are the 6th seed. Both teams have, had injuries, getting players back. But it's not like the Rockets are materially less healthy right now than the Nuggets. I mean, Aaron Gordon had a good game back, but he's not, 100%. Why are we up? We just upgrade the Nuggets every chance we get and downgrade the Rockets. I don't understand it. What am I missing?
Everybody here in this 3 to 7 range is within a game or two. Rockets, Lakers, Timberwolves, Nuggets. and Suns. They're all jumbled up here. The standings change every single
yeah,
day.
exactly. And I wouldn't say, okay, a game and a half lead, the Rockets are clearly been better than the Nuggets. But I mean, how do you assess a team? Preseason expectations molded with, 3/4 of a season of data, with understanding that not teams are healthy all the time. I don't get the equation that says, other than Jokic is amazing and he up arrow around Jokic at all times, why we just think the Nuggets are the best team outside of the Thunder in the West.
Yeah. One other game, the Timberwolves are at the Clippers. LA, a 2.5-point home favorite. So it's the second of a back-to-back here for the Timberwolves after losing as favorites against the Lakers. Do they bounce back and get a win here as dogs against the Clippers?
They've been much worse on the road, especially defensively. So I like the Clippers in this game to continue to cruise.
All right, college basketball conference tournaments continue. Mackenzie, I mentioned last night, I was out at the West Coast Conference Championship game between Gonzaga and Santa Clara. The Zags with the 79-68 win and cover, despite being down by 4 at the half. They come back to win in a building that they just never lose in their final West Coast Conference tournament game as they go to the new Pac-12 next season. That building, it felt like a Gonzaga home game, Mackenzie. It was loud. It was all Gonzaga fans, and it was one big party for the Zags in their final tournament here at the Orleans in Vegas. So now they head into the NCAA tournament. We'll see where they are seated, and we continue conference tournament action here today. We have early games, St. Bonaventure and LaSalle, first round action of the Atlantic 10 tournament. This is an 11:30 a.m. Eastern time game from Pittsburgh. And then we have 2 noon tip-offs Eastern time, Maryland and Iowa in the Big Ten tournament, Pittsburgh and NC State in the ACC tournament. We have 2 12:30 tip-offs. We have Arizona State and number 7 Iowa State in the Big 12 tournament, and LSU Kentucky in the SEC tournament. Now, naturally, we always think the early start times lead to games going under.
Naturally.
Right, Mackenzie? But I actually looked up since the last 2 seasons. Since the start of the 2023 season, okay? I was curious. I wanted to see how the early start times did. So all I did was look at if you're playing on a neutral site in a conference game in March, which is usually all the conference tournaments, unless it's that rare situation where you play a conference opponent in the first round of the NCAA tournament, right? First or second round. All these games starting noon Eastern or earlier. We have had 4 straight overs this year in early start time games. Now, going back to 2023, it is 22-20 to the over. But let's just look at the last season or two, okay? Or just the last few games. This calendar year, and then this March, we've had, I mentioned, 4 straight overs. 5 of the last 6 have gone over, okay? 6, 7, 8 of the last 10 have gone over. Do we think there's actually value in playing the overs here in these early games, Mackenzie?
You should say 6 out of the last 10. Come on.
No, 8 out of the last 10. So we've had 5. We've had 4 in a row. 5 out of the last 6. 8 out of the last 10.
All right, that's much better than 6 out of the last 10.
Yes.
It's so hard for me to get away from what I think is the logic of it, and it works in so many other scenarios. I don't want to just go completely 180 the other way.
But do you think the cat's out of the bag and the market is suppressing these numbers so much? Because these numbers that I'm giving you are graded against the closing line.
Sure.
And so, I don't know how they've done against the opening line, but there could be something here where people are just betting these. We've already seen so many moves in these markets. If I see a big move when I wake up in the morning and I see a big move here, I might bet the overs in these games.
Yeah, all the best trends eventually get found out and get leveled out because it becomes valuable to bet the other way. the zigzag theory in the NBA became valuable. Just take all the value that you were getting in the first half after a certain point. So yeah, I mean, you're a braver man than me betting an over in the first half under in college basketball in March.
Here's the totals for these games. St. Bonaventure LaSalle 144.5, Pittsburgh NC State 144.5, Maryland Iowa 137.5, Kentucky LSU 151.5, and Arizona State Iowa State 147.5. Those are your 11:30, noon, and 12:30 tip-offs in conference tournament action here on Wednesday. All right, Mackenzie, we had big news in the NFL and a shocker to some in the World Baseball Classic.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Shopify is the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret, with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales going through. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period for 3 months at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
College basketball is nonstop. Big games, tight spreads, momentum swings every night. And now FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into bigger wins. With the College Basketball Parlay Profit Boost, here's how it works. Build any college hoops parlay you like. The early tip, the rivalry game, the ranked matchup, the late night West Coast shootout, mixed spreads, totals, props, whatever fits your read of the slate. Then just apply your profit boost and instantly bump up that potential payout. Go safe, go spicy, go with the team you've been following all season. It's your parlay, your style. Now with more upside behind it. Head to FanDuel.com/believe to get started. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with the Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Minimum 2-leg parlay required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable boost builder tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. For Louisiana, call 1-877-770-7867.
World Baseball Classic yesterday, Team USA was upset by Team Italy. That's right, Mackenzie. Team Italy beating the United States in the World Baseball Classic. Final score 8-6.
Yep.
And now the United States might not even advance to the elimination round after opening the tournament as an overwhelming -110 favorite compared to everybody else. The United States is on the brink of elimination, needing to advance on tiebreakers today. We'll explain those tiebreaker situations in just a moment. But, hey, we played yesterday, Italy plus 5.5 runs. I've been saying it now for days that I'm waiting for the Italy-USA game on Tuesday to take the run line with Team Italy. And it played out exactly how I thought it was going to play out yesterday. This Italian team has pop. They have major league talent up and down this lineup. Michael Lorenzen is a veteran arm who shut down the U.S. lineup. And, boy, that was an impressive win for the Italians.
Are you a little FOMO'd out in the fact that you could have gotten the money line? Like, you told someone you bet Italy, and then they just saw SportsCenter. They're like, damn, you bet Italy, you're a genius. Let's go to the Pizza Hut and get all the rewards for all your winnings. And you're like, oh, this is a -110 bet. Like, what? So I was talking to someone that bet Arizona State plus 5.5 in college basketball over Baylor, and then they win the game. And it's not kissing your sister, but it's not as good as the money line.
Sure, yes. I would have liked to have the money line, absolutely. But also, the United States is a ridiculous roster that could win. And Mackenzie, even
exactly, that's why it would have been so wild to bet the money line.
Yeah, but they came back also yesterday. Italy was up 8-0. The United States scored 6 unanswered after the 6th inning. So, like, it was an 8-6 game. And then Aaron Judge is up, by the way, with a chance to tie the game late. So, it was like, it was.
There's so many scenarios where you'd be happy with the plus 5.5.
Of course.
So many.
Of course.
90%.
Absolutely. So here's what's going to go on today at the World Baseball Classic. And the United States needs help to advance to the elimination round. So Italy will face Mexico coming up here tonight. And here's what has to happen for the United States to advance. Or here's all the situations because of the tiebreakers, right? If Mexico beats Italy, then Mexico will advance along with the United States as long as Mexico scores 5 or more runs. If Mexico beats Italy, but only scores 4 runs or less, then both Mexico and Italy will advance. And then they'll say to each other, hey, we got the same flag. Nah, but you got that little thing in the middle. And then the other scenario, which is the cleanest scenario, if Italy defeats Mexico, the United States and Italy advance. So this is the only way the U.S. advances is if Italy wins or if Mexico wins by scoring 5 or more runs.
We began the show talking about competition that seemed kind of not quite right, at least to me, the Bam Adebayo scoring 83 points. Well, West Germany and Austria had a game called the Disgrace of Gijon, where they colluded to tie a game and thus both advance. It seems to me very easy to imagine the Italians and the Mexicans looking at their same flag and being like, hey, you're up 4. Let's just throw some balls and strikes. A couple swings and misses. No one gets hurt. No, everyone goes home, and the big bad USA is knocked out of the tournament. I don't like this. I don't like where this is headed.
So what you're saying is, like, what if we do a same game parlay, right?
Yeah,
where
Mexico
it's
in the under.
It's not just Mexico in the under, Mackenzie. We do a same game parlay where it's Mexico money line with an alternate under of under 4 or under 4.5. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like there's a chance.
4-0,
There's a
3-1.
Like,
yeah,
1-0. Mexico wins 1-0.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. Like now it's baseball. It's not exactly soccer where you can just like.
Yeah, it's not a disgraceful women's sport. Sorry.
Yeah, but like what? I mean, I guess you could just stand up there and not swing the bat and just strike out every time. But like, someone's gonna run into one. There's gonna be, someone's gonna hit a home run. Like someone's gonna, I don't know. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch.
What are those games? Those getaway games where it's
getaway day? Yeah,
everyone's
mail it in.
You're right. The same. We're getting out of here.
It's a great point, Mackenzie. They just mail it in. Here's your updated odds up on FanDuel to win the World Baseball Classic. The Dominican Republic plus 180 favorites now. The United States plus 230, despite the fact that they're not guaranteed to advance. Japan plus 250. Venezuela plus 900. Italy is plus 2,200. Now, they're not guaranteed to advance. Obviously, they have to win here against Mexico or, lose by less than 4 runs. Okay. So, right. But this is still an undefeated team right now that just beat the United States. I don't know. I'm just saying. The drink shots are
Mexico minus 340, Italy plus 265. It really does seem. I mean, they're favored, but not monster favorites. It feels like everybody's happy with 2-0, 2-1.
I think, again, we do the same game parlay, Mexico, an alternate under of like 4.5 runs.
Yes, sir. Cash it. Book it.
Mexico, how about this for a maximum payout? Mexico minus 1.5 on the run line.
Now that's negative correlation. With
under 4.5 for the game. Would be the craziest same game parlay
They
we've
better let
ever
us do
come
that.
up with?
I might have to drive down to Arizona.
All right, here we go. Let's talk NFL news, Mackenzie. Big news yesterday. The Max Crosby trade from the Raiders to the Ravens has been nixed after Max Crosby apparently failed his physical, or at least the Ravens are just saying it's medical concerns after he took the physical. And so there will not be a trade between the Ravens and the Raiders. Max Crosby is still a Raider right now. Here's my question. Was this the best thing that could have happened for the Raiders? Because with all the moves they made here, the moves that they made here, right? Does Max Crosby have a change of heart? And does he say, hey, listen, I'm cool staying here, right? Because you just brought in Nakobe Dean, Kwity Paye, Quay Walker, right? We got some good players here. Malcolm Kuntz on defense. You got Jalen Naylor now on offense with Linderbaum at center. Like, the Raiders are loading up. Does Max Crosby say, hey, I'm cool staying here? And then on the flip side, do the Raiders say, yeah, but we have concerns about your medical, so why don't we just do this for a contract? Why don't we just do a one-year deal? Why don't we just do this? And is this like the best thing that could have happened for the Raiders?
Well, just in terms of raw economics, you're exactly right that they have much more leverage in any contract negotiation when a team literally said, we could have had you, we wanted you, but we just didn't think it was in our best interest financially to take that risk. So unfortunately, that's what physicals are for. And Max Crosby, he wasn't mad last year because the Raiders had the wrong coach or they made the wrong personnel decision. He wanted to play and they didn't want him to play. I think he wants to play for the Raiders. I think he'll be perfectly happy. Even his, goodbye address, said the right things if you're a Raiders fan. So I think he'll be happy to stay. And unfortunately for him, it'll probably be less financially lucrative here in Vegas if he stays here a few more years. But that's not everything in life is about money.
Yeah, elsewhere in the NFL, I'm curious though. Real quick, if we just the Ravens, we had talked about they had the highest win total, and we loved their move.
Yeah, I did notice their odds dipped a little bit to the 10 or 11 to 1, depending on the book, from the 9 to 1 where it's at. It was at.
Yep. Yeah. Ravens plus 1,400 to win the Super Bowl up on FanDuel right now.
1,400. Wow.
Yep, to win the conference, still the second favorite they're the second favorite behind the Buffalo Bills, plus 600, Bills plus 490. They had been the favorite. So, so some moves definitely changed there. How about the
new coach? They didn't make the playoffs last year. Maybe the Ravens are a sneaky alt under team. They could win 9 games last year. I wouldn't be shocked.
Okay. How about the comedy of hilarity, irony, whatever you want to call it? Geno Smith has a new home, Mackenzie, and it's his first home. The Raiders, instead of cutting Geno Smith, trade Geno Smith to the New York Jets. So the Jets sending a 6th-round pick to the Raiders, and now Geno Smith back with the team that drafted him in the 2nd round, the New York Jets.
Maybe this fixes the curse. Sam Darnold literally... people would laugh at you if you said he was going to go win the Super Bowl. He's the worst quarterback of all time. That was literally the talk. And he maybe had the worst QBR for the first 20 games of his career. All those types of numbers. Trevor Lawrence was right there too. But it wasn't just Sam Darnold. Everybody that's left the Jets and the Giants, but especially the Jets, has found success elsewhere. Robert Saleh immediately with the 49ers. Maybe this fixes it. To bring someone back and say, we cast you out like we cast everyone out as a city. We just say you're not good enough, but clearly it's within the building. Maybe this will fix it. This is the prodigal son has returned home with the words of wisdom. We could do better, guys.
I can't help but
You're
laugh.
the Jets fan. Come on. Are you thrilled with it? Does he start?
Here. I think he does start.
Yeah. Why don't you bring him in if you? Yeah.
Now here's the only positive is I never threw out my Geno Smith jersey, so I have a Geno Smith Jets jersey just sitting in my closet.
I have a Rod Smith jersey.
Yeah, there it is. The Geno Smith number 7 Jets jersey is in my closet, good to go, ready to go for this.
Did you ever believe in him in the first tenure? I mean,
no. Well, here's what I did.
I remember I confused him with EJ Manuel a lot, the Bills quarterback, and I'm like, yeah, neither of them are good. Whatever.
Mackenzie, that's like not right of you, by the way. I mean, like,
EJ Manuel was good for a second. He had a good preseason camp.
No, there was the one game that Geno Smith had on Monday Night Football against the Falcons. Do you remember this?
No.
Okay. He had one game on Monday Night Football for the Jets against the Falcons where he threw 3 touchdowns. The Jets beat the Falcons, and it was like Geno Smith has arrived. Like, he is here. Like, he's our quarterback.
Like Sam Darnold, 45 points in his first game against the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably it might have been Geno Smith's best game as a New York Jet. Let me look this up. This was his rookie year, 2013. Right? So can I even go back to 2013? Let's see. Geno Smith's rookie year, 2013. There it is. Monday, October 7th versus Atlanta. Jets win 30-28. Geno, 16 of 20, 199 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Home dog on a Monday night?
No, it was on the road. It was in Atlanta.
Whatever. Yep. That's the line.
And it was a Nick Folk 43-yard field goal as time expired as the Jets, Geno Smith leads them to a come from behind victory.
The engine that is all of media, and I think maybe hyper focused in New York, just doesn't work with quarterback play. Like, if Brock Purdy was with the Jets instead of Zach Wilson, like if their ages matched up exactly, he wouldn't have been great, and everyone would think he's terrible. But even if he was as talented as he is a top 10 quarterback talent wise, I think in the league. You don't succeed in bad systems with bad players. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Geno Smith suddenly became good. I just think the Jets were a terrible organization that were trying to tank with Todd Bowles and all that. And maybe the prodigal son will fix him. I'm hopeful for you as a fan base.
Geno Smith played 16 games his rookie year for the Jets, Mackenzie. That I told you that one game against Atlanta early on, week 4, week 5, whatever it was. He had the 3 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. In the 15 other games combined, Geno Smith only threw 9 touchdowns.
And 21 picks. That's a lot.
And 20.
Well, Daniel Tomlinson was there at that point, right? I think he played his last year with the Jets. Yeah. He was throwing a little dope ball passes to LT.
I guess. Yeah, that was just... Oh, boy. Good times, good times. You know what else is good times? We keep cashing with our NBA Game Center up on BetterDay.com. We had a good one yesterday with Jarace Walker from Indiana Pacers. Easy winner on his under PRA. That's right. The points plus rebounds plus assist tab is now locked and loaded for you guys up on the NBA Game Center at BetterDay.com, exclusively for Better Day Insider and Premium members. To learn how you can elevate your betting game, click on the link on our homepage at BetterDay.com. The new and improved, by the way, BetterDay.com. We have a big announcement coming soon for Major League Baseball content. Going to have some more contributors to our platform here up on BetterDay.com and on the podcast feed as well. So that's going to be very exciting here as we gear up for Major League Baseball. For Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.